want to assume you're going to have jobs and doctors. I could debate that, and I have, and I've written about it till I'm blue in the face. But what I'm saying is, they're not telling you this about this one. And if you think about it, that deliberative process that goes all the way up from committees to the Supreme Court of Arkansas, and they publish it for comment. I mean, we've got rules right now being considered that have been published for 30 to 60 days, all through the summer, for everybody to comment. It's not just about lawyers. Anybody can go online and see those rules and comment. So the transparency problem of legislative process, where you file a shell bill, you don't know what's going to be in there till the last minute. And I sometimes feel sorry for these legislators because at the very end of a session, they got piles to go through. How are they going to read all those piles? They're not. What they're going to do is say, hey, you're the sponsor, tell me about it. Is it a good bill? Okay, I'll vote. You know, no, that's not deliberative. And judges are not elected to represent constituencies.
Exactly.
They are not there to do what any particular constituency wants. They are there to protect the constitutional rights of all. That's what they're there for. And I believe that. And because of that, what will happen is you'll have people with influence, people with lobbyists, and with term limits being down, if it passes, to 10 years total. You're going to have more people, the lobbyists, etc. And then you're going to have campaign contributions, and you're going to have the influence of people who want to get something to benefit themselves. So I'm just going to share with you, this is the way the scales of justice will change. And that's not what we believe in this country, that the courts are supposed to be about. We're supposed to be about open courts where people can go to a neutral, fair forum, juries, and get decisions about very serious issues. And I know I've gone on and on too long. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but you know, also our legislators, you know, on my end of it, I know you're on the court system, but for me, I'm, you know, like Lori Russian's constituent. She sponsored this.
Right.
And to me, she, as all the other legislators, they've taken an oath. And their oath is to protect the U.S. Constitution and the Arkansas Constitution. And so, to me, if you pass issue 1, it strips you the right from the 7th Amendment and Article 2, Section .25. And so, to me, they're violating their oath, you know, from the top of it. So,
well, you know, I'm not going to get into that, but
that's
I
my
will,
part of it.
Yeah, but I will tell you.
I'll take the heat. It's okay.
You can do that, but I will tell you that a legislator's job is to represent their constituency.
And uphold the Constitution.
And yes, and they take that oath. But it's up, you know, I'm sitting here going, and I have real mixed feelings about the lawsuit because everybody thinks it's over. Why are we continuing these meetings? Why are we? No, it ain't over. It goes to the Arkansas Supreme Court, and they have the final say.
And I actually, on the way here, I was watching the thing on Texas, when this happened in Texas. And they were saying that you could not, you know, basically trust the Supreme Court in Texas. They did have Republicans on there. And I'm not saying they were wrong judges, but they were saying that, you know, Republican judges have been put on the Supreme Court. And of course, you know, Texas has tort reform now. And they were talking about the issues in the court system, that when they have a lawsuit, it's less than 20% are coming to court, 16% winning, and then once it gets to the Supreme Court, they had less than a 5% chance of winning in Texas. So can you imagine if we're in Arkansas, you know, that you have an attorney that needs to
And Brad can talk about the other part of this, which is trying to take away freedom of contract for lawyers. Are we going to take away other people's freedom of contract when they want to hire somebody? I mean, are we going to tell engineers how much they can make? Or are we going to tell, this issue has been drafted very strategically. So the first issue is about greedy lawyers. Okay? It's their fee. What is not explained, and I'm sure, I try to explain it out there, which is, do you understand that most people can't afford a lawyer? So when you really get hurt or something happens in your family, how do you hire a lawyer? You hire them with a contingency fee contract, which means that lawyer puts up money, lots of money, if they think the case has merit. And what I have yet to understand is why they think lawyers are going to take frivolous cases, because it's not financially viable as a business.
Go broke.
You go broke and bankrupt. So you put that on the table, and they're basically saying lawyers can only take home 1/3 of net, 1/3 of the net recovery.
Only on the victim's side.
Yeah, and
There's no
there's no
restriction
limit on
the corporate
on
on
the,
the other
on
side.
the defense side. So you've got that, and that's what would close the courthouse doors too. Lawyers can't be expected,
They shouldn't be.
because they're basically taking a risk. It's called an actuarial risk, which is I'm going to lose a certain amount and I'm going to win a certain amount. It's like insurance. And if I have to have that right balance to be able to afford to take all these cases. Obviously, you don't take them unless you think they have merit. And I might just lose one. And let me tell you, and Brad, I'm sure you can say this, some of the lawyers take a real financial hit if they lose.
Counsel, do you mind if I follow up on
No,
that?
go ahead.
I'm a little uncomfortable